Ladies and gentlemen, greetings. To all those coming here to learn about history, you have come to the right place, as me and my friend here are famous historians.
Hello, friends.
Your job today is to listen to our words today, so you and the general populace may be enlightened on a dark day that afflicted the nation's history over a century ago. The Homestead Strike of 1892. Perhaps some context regarding this Gilded Age is warranted before we delve further into this calamitous event. The Gilded Age was the period that immediately followed the Reconstruction, marked by an unforeseen prosperity in the overall American economy. Businesses boomed, corporations materialized, and economic growth reached unprecedented levels. Several industries that saw particular fortune during this time include the railroad, banking, timber, mining, textile, and steel industries.
Those are some great industries.
However, as beneficial as these economic booms were to our nation, this was also a period riddled with social inequalities, as wealthy entrepreneurs unjustly benefited the most off the labor of comparatively poor workers. Among these infamous entrepreneurs was Andrew Carnegie, owner of Carnegie Steel and responsible for initiating the domino effect that would lead to the stroke of ill fortune that was the Homestead Strike. Let us now turn back the clock and witness firsthand the developments that led to this disastrous event.
My strongest workers, you've all demonstrated such tremendous tenacity that keeps our great company alive. Without you, we all have nothing. Let us be known here that I support these unions fully. Homestead is one of the most vital plants that we have here in Carnegie Industries, and it cannot be here without you strong workers.
Mr. Frick, you said you had news about a possible increase in our pay. Well, back down now. Your words mean nothing to me. I have to see you act.
Though Henry Clay Frick made it sound like he would initially increase the workers' pay, little did the workers know that Frick had a more duplicitous scheme in his head. Thus, the seeds that would eventually sprout into blooms of rage and fury were planted.
Rage and fury. I think I got that in college.
As Frick proceeded with his plans, his haughty attitude towards the workers would see his seeds receive nutrients from an unexpected source: Andrew Carnegie.
Hello, Mr. Carnegie.
Mr. Frick?
Please, have a seat.
Thank you.
Have a drink.
Thank you.
So, I was talking with some of the steel workers, and they don't understand the opportunity they have. They want more pay. They completely spit upon your reputation.
When I was young, I worked in a cotton mill. I got paid $1.20 a week. I'm paying my employees 10 times that, and yet they're still complaining?
They need to understand their position and what we're giving them.
What do you propose?
I propose we cut every worker's pay. It's a reminder of their purpose in society, to work for those like us. To disrespect their own position, it's disgusting. Wouldn't you agree? It's our money after all. They're trying to tell us what to do with it. Doing this, we can also make some extra cash on the side.
I could use a vacation. I haven't been to Scotland in a while. A few weeks.
With Andrew Carnegie leaving for Scotland, Carnegie Steel was left in the hands of Henry Clay Frick. Perhaps the most egregious irony present in this affair has to do with Carnegie's turnaround regarding his alleged support for unions and fair labor.
Sounds like hypocrisy to me.
On the subject of unions, a 3-year contract with Carnegie was coming to an end, and these pay cuts were about to make the steelworkers hit a boiling point. Further compounding these issues was that Carnegie, the leader, let one of his subordinates do the dirty work for him. We soon learned that Carnegie was not the philanthropist he pretended to be.
I've come with news regarding your pay. You are all the most tenacious and hard-working men and women I've ever seen. To say you are invaluable would be disrespectful to your worth ethic, and
Get to the point. Our pay, what of it?
oh, we're cutting it in half. I know you are all surprised by this, but we believe you are ungrateful. You have to be reminded of your purpose.
Ungrateful! We work tirelessly every day for you. Well, this company wouldn't even be half of what it is if we weren't here working at it.
We're going on strike!
Yeah, we're going on strike. We ain't leaving until we get things right.
This refusal from the higher ups in the company accordingly to rework union contracts with the workers would result in the closure of the Homestead mill on June 29, 1892. To Frick's surprise, all the workers decided to strike instead of just the union workers, and a high barbed wire fence was built around the mill to seal it off from these striking workers. As a preventive measure to protect the strike breakers he was hiring from these armed rebels, Frick called in the Pinkerton National Detective Agency. Such a practice was common at the time among entrepreneurs who wished to break up unions, and these fellows had actually been utilized a few years earlier at another Carnegie plant as well. Little did everyone know that the interaction between the workers and the Pinkertons would turn out to be violent.
I'm gonna kill you, bro. I'm a Pinkerton. I challenge you with the dance. Dance battle. Let's go.
The government sided with Carnegie Steel and sent National Guard forces to quell the workers. The strike was over.
In the end, the strike was unsuccessful. Workers were forced to go back to work, but now had to live under horrid conditions. Worker hours extended to 12 hours per shift with barely any breaks given, and only one holiday off on the 4th of July. Strike leaders were charged with murder, and contemporary public support was lost due to the violence with which the workers fought off the Pinkertons. However, Carnegie's reputation was now permanently stained, and eventual public opinion against hired help in labor disputes would ultimately result in 26 states outlawing it. Despite the magnitude of such events and actions, the Homestead strike effectively ended unions within the steel industry until the advent of World War I. and Carnegie Steel would only improve its financial status. Alas, let this serve as a lesson that violence is not the answer to our problems. Civil discourse is the way to go. Treat your workers fairly, and everyone ends up in a better place than before. Thank you.